Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody. Talking about SSR and dealing with what I still call formal war in Libya or militias. This subject is really a very important subject for Libya. Libya now is going through post-conflict. We inherited from the previous regime distracted country. We inherited rules. What we're going through in Libya, or what we should go through, is state building. And state building takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of planning and needs a lot of capabilities and capacity. I think my colleagues, Abdurrahman and Mr. Frederick, have given a good assessment of the situation in Libya today. But I think I'd like to present a background of how these young people or how these men have carried their arms and why they did so. And I'd like also to give a background about the Libyan security sector before and during the revolution. And I will pass the assessment as my colleagues Abdurrahman and Frederick have given, in my opinion, a quite clear assessment of the situation now in Libya. And I would like to give some view or a view of what is the solution. These are the problems. This is our problem in Libya. What are the solutions? To open discussion on the solutions available for the situation. The background of these militias, and I happen to be one of the people who carried arms against Gaddafi, and I was part of the leadership of the first brigade that was established in Benghazi, where we trained many of these men, many of these young men, to carry arms and to join the front lines and to fight for the liberty of Libya and for their freedom. And I remember when we used to hand them the arms, when we trained them, we used to take the serial number of every arm we gave them. And the question I posed to myself and to my colleagues at the time is that, are we really going to get back these arms, or it is just a matter of just writing the serial number, hoping that we get them back? Another question that we kept on asking ourselves as leaders of these armed revolutionary war in the front lines and towards the end of the fight, what will happen next? How are we going to demobilize and disarm these people? We were worried from that time that the spread of the arms will probably harm the security of Libya, will probably harm the process of state building. So these young people, mainly were civilians, they carried their arms. They were joined later by officers from the army, some from the police. So as many of the army officers say until nowadays, that they joined the war, they joined the revolutionary fighters. So the leadership was in the hand of the revolutionary fighters. They were the elite in the revolution. This explains how they held their arms and how they became brigades and militias. When it comes to the security sector, it is important to know that in the time of Gaddafi, we did not really have a well-organized army or a well-organized police. All the security sector was to serve one goal, the protection of Gaddafi. And this was not based on a well-organized sector. It was not based on security in the sense that's available in the rest of the world, where you have well-trained security people, where you have technology, where you have organized security sector. But security was spread in Libya during the time of Gaddafi out of fear. The people feared the state. The people feared the crushing down of the dictatorship. Therefore, security was there because of the fear that the Libyan people had from the government and the state. So we really inherited a corrupt, disorganized security sector. And during the revolution, whatever was there was dismantled as facilities, as camps, as depots of the army. This is an important background, I think, to know the situation of the security sector, the situation of these armed militias or Thawar. In my opinion, the solution, as my colleagues have pointed, is in RDD, reintegration and integration, that leads to demobilization and eventually will lead to disarmament. Reintegration, most of these youth are unemployed, and even the ones who are employed are not really, they don't really get a meaningful job. They are employed, just getting salaries and not really serving the state or being happy about their jobs. Therefore, we need to find them jobs. We need to develop the economy. The private sector in Libya represents less than 10%. We need to widen the private sector. We need to launch a large SMEs program to provide these men with opportunities, real opportunities. The Libyan economy needs SMEs. The Libyan economy was, in the time of Gaddafi, based on oil revenues and public sector. We need to change this. Reintegration, economic reintegration, social reintegration, partially integration in the army and in the police is the way to go ahead with demobilizing armed militias in Libya. In what we have been, it has been our plan and our strategy to reintegrate armed people. We registered thousands of them. We interviewed 165,000 of them. None of them have insisted on carrying their arm, but all of them have chosen one of the opportunities that we asked them to choose, either SMEs, launching their own businesses, or being employed in the state institutions, or joining the army or police, or continuing their education. So militias in Libya are not insisting on keeping their weapons. They just want a replacement for the weapon. The best replacement for the weapon is an opportunity either for building their capacity or providing them with a decent job. Many of them are also looking for housing, looking for getting married. We have in our database more than have not been married because of the situation in the time of Gaddafi and not being able to get a house and not being able to finance a family. So the solution is to provide them with opportunities, and this needs a strategy by the state, it needs a strategy by the government, it needs a leadership that has a comprehensive strategy for the country, developing the economy, and in the same time using this development tool to reintegrate the militias and the armed fighters or the armed Thawar. When it comes to the security sector, we need to have security sector reform. We need a comprehensive strategy for the army, the police, the intelligence. What we are going through now is nothing is organized. Every security institution has its own plan, and when there is a change in leadership or in the directors of these institutions, there is another planning process. Nothing is organized, not even in planning. The international community has tried to help, but again, also the international community has sent many organizations, many consultants. Nothing has been coherent, comprehensive yet. So the solution is in planning, putting the strategies, developing the state and the economy. Economic reintegration will provide opportunities for militias to demobilize them, to integrate them, and demobilizing. What we really need in Libya is to go one step behind and start our state building process. We need dialogue before all of that. We need to reach consensus and agreement on the future of Libya, the future of the state of Libya, have our strategy to rebuild Libya through education, through training, through capacity building, through economic development. Until now, we have not been lucky to have these dialogue being launched. We have had many dialogues, but nothing really has come out of these dialogues. Hopefully, soon we will have some results out of the dialogues that are going on now in Libya to unite the people, have trust between the different components of Libya, write our constitution, have the right strategy to build the state. And the solutions are there, the resources are there, the armed militias are ready to disarm if they have a decent opportunity or a replacement for their weapons. This is a summary of what's happening in Libya and the solutions. Thank you very much for your time.